Hello students of Primary 6. Here we are again with Unit 9, Cities Around the World, Part 2. Let's start by the learning objectives of Lessons 3 and 4, Focus and Practice. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to inquire about time and duration of activities in the past. You will also be able to form WH questions with when and how long and answer them.
Unit 9, page 57. Focus time.
A. Listen and repeat.
Number 1.
January,
Number 2.
February,
Number 3.
March,
Number 4.
April,
Number 5.
May,
Number 6.
June,
Number 7.
July,
Number 8.
August,
Number 9.
September,
Number 10.
October,
Number 11.
November,
Number 12.
December.
B. Listen and repeat.
When did he go to Hong Kong?
He went in April.
How long was he there?
He was there for 1 week.
When did they go to Hong Kong?
They went in April.
How long were they there?
They were there for 1 week.
So first, let's look at the WH questions with when in the past simple. To form a question using when, we use the form when plus did plus the subject plus infinitive. And this question asks about the time. When did you go to San Francisco? When did they go to Tokyo? To answer this question, we start by the subject plus the verb in the past simple tense plus the timing that forms the answer. So, I went in March. They went at 3 o'clock. Let's look at the examples. When did you go to San Francisco? I went in March. In March is the answer to the question word when. When did she go to Paris? She went on Monday. On Monday is the answer to the question word when. When did they go to Tokyo? They went at 3 o'clock. So to answer a question that starts with when, we can specify any time in the past, month, seasons, days of the week, any time, but we have to pay attention to the preposition used before these timings. Before month and seasons, we use in March, in summer, in April. With days of the week, we use on Sunday, on Monday, on Friday, and so on. And before the time, we use at 3 o'clock, at 5 p.m., and so on. Now we're going to move to WH questions with how long. This is a little bit different from the questions that start with when. When asks about the time, but how long asks about the duration. To form the question, we use how long with was or where, depending on the subject plus there. How long were you there? How long was she there? To answer this question, we start by the subject plus verb to be in the past simple was or were, again depending on the subject, plus there plus for plus the period of time to show the duration. And pay attention for the preposition here, it's for. Let's look at the examples. How long were you there? I was there for 2 days. So the duration, I stayed there for 2 days. How long was she there? She was there for 2 weeks. How long were they there? They were there for 1 month. So whether it's weeks, days, or month, it's the same preposition for. Let's move to the checkpoint and answer some questions. Choose the suitable answer. Number 1. A asks a question. How, when, where, what did you go to Cairo? And B answers in March. The answer in March then means a timing. So which question word are we going to use? When. When asks about the timing. Number 2. A asks a question. How long, how many, how much, how often did you stay in Italy? And B answers, I stayed there for 1 week. For 1 week is a duration. So which question word asks about the duration? How long? Number 3. He was, they, there in August. He was there. There. Talking about the place. Number 4. Rami went to Paris in, on, at, for August. Remember, which preposition should we use before August? Yes, in August. Number 5. A asks a question. When, does, is, do, did he go to Honolulu? And B answers, he went there in May. He went there in May is the sentence is in the past tense. So we're going to use a helping verb in the past tense. When did he go to Honolulu? Number 6. There are 12 days, seasons, months, weeks in the year. 12 month, yes. How many days are there in a week? 7 days. How many seasons are there in a year? 4 seasons. And how many weeks are there in a month? We have 4 weeks in a month. Number 7. He was there 3 days. For 3 days. We said that for is the preposition used before a duration. And number 8. He went to Rome in, of, for, on Tuesday. What's the correct preposition that we should use before the days of the week? On Tuesday. Look at the pictures, listen, and repeat. Then practice with a partner. First, we're going to form a question, and then we're going to answer it. When did you go to Hong Kong? I went in April. How long were you there? I was there for 1 week. When did you go to Paris? I went in December. How long were you there? I was there for 3 days. When did you go to Tokyo? I went in June. How long were you there? I was there for 2 weeks. When did you go to London? I went in January. How long were you there? I was there for 1 day. When did you go to Seoul? We went in August. How long were you there? We were there for 4 days. Number 6. When did you go to New York City? I went in May. How long were you there? I was there for 2 days. Number 7. When did you go to Honolulu? I went in September. How long were you there? I was there for 1 day. And number 8. When did they go to Rome? They went in July. How long were they there? They were there for 5 days. Now let's move to lesson 5, and we're going to start by the learning objectives. And this is the reading time. we're going to read a tourist brochure. Let's warm up first. This is New York City. Over 30 million people visit New York City every year. It's one of the world's most exciting places. There are 18,000 restaurants, 10,000 shops, and 150 museums in New York City. You can visit the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building. Macy's is the world's biggest department store. Walking tours, boat tours, and bus tours are available daily. Another important city is Orlando. Orlando is in the state of Florida. Over 35 million people visit Orlando every year. It's one of the most exciting places. There are 100,000 hotel rooms, hundreds of shops, and 82 parks. You can visit Disney World and SeaWorld in Orlando. Tours are available daily. You can get tickets for a show at the Universal Studios, where they shoot the film. Here we're going to read about New York. Welcome to New York City, the Big Apple. So they call New York City the Big Apple, and we're going to know why. Over 30 million people visit New York City every year. Why? Because it's one of the world's most exciting places. There are 18,000 restaurants, 10,000 shops, and 150 museums. Basketball, opera, theater, jazz. New York City has it all. Visit the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building. Get tickets for a show at a Broadway theater. Have a sandwich at Carnegie Deli. Don't forget to shop at Macy's. It's the world's biggest department store. Walking tours, boat tours, and bus tours are available daily. For information, call us at 1-800-555-2112. We can help you find a hotel room, buy plane tickets, or rent a car. So this is the brochure about New York. We have some new words like million, and this is a very big number. Most exciting, very exciting, fascinating. Opera. The opera house is the place where they sing a special kind of songs and music. Available, you can find it, it's available. Rent, to pay a sum of money in order to take this place for a while. You rent a house, you rent a room, you're not going to buy it, you're going to pay some money in order to stay in this place for a while. World, the whole world. Thousand is a big number, but it is smaller than the million. Jazz, it's a kind of music, and information like the information that we're reading now about New York. In the picture, you can see the Statue of Liberty. You can also see on the right the Empire State Building. Here you can see a sandwich. Maybe this is a sample at what you can eat at Carnegie Deli. And the happy and sad faces are a symbol for the theaters, and Broadway is a street in New York that is famous with its theaters. It has lots and lots of theaters there. We have also learned about Macy's. It's the world's biggest department store, and the department store is a very big store where you can find everything. Main vocabulary. This is the opera. This woman is singing at the opera. Thousand, million. Information. Information tells you who, what, where, when, why, how. It tells you about a lot of things and answers many questions. Jazz. This is a type of music. More vocabulary. You can rent a car or rent a place to live. Like we said before, you pay an amount of money in order to use this thing for a while. You're not going to buy it. It's not going to be your own. This is a restaurant where you eat. This is a boat tour. This is the museum. And this is the show. Conjugation of verbs, regular verbs and irregular verbs. And here all the regular verbs end with ed, visit, visited, call, called, shop, shopped. Don't forget that we double the P before adding the ed because there is one vowel before the last consonant. Rent, rented. And as for the irregular verbs, forget, forgot, buy, bought, find, found, have, had. Let's move to the checkpoint. Read the sentence, write true or false. Number 1. People visit New York City because it's one of the world's most exciting places. Yes, this is true, and we read about this in the brochure. Number 2. There are 80,000 restaurants in New York City. Remember the number? No, this is not correct. This is not the correct number. Number 3. Carnegie Deli is the world's largest department store. Is this correct? No, the largest department store is Macy's, and Carnegie Deli is a restaurant where you eat delicious sandwiches in New York. Number 4. When you're in New York, you can take a boat tour. Yes, true. We said that there are many kinds of tours there. More questions. Read the question and write the answer. Number 1. How many museums are there in New York? There are 150 museums. Why do people visit New York City? Because it's one of the world's most exciting places. So people like going there and visiting New York City. What kinds of tours are available? Remember, we said that there are many kinds of tours. Walking tours, boat tours, and bus tours are available in New York City. Number 4, what is the Big Apple? We said that this is a name given to New York City because it's full of everything. You can find everything in New York. So New York City is the Big Apple. More questions. Choose the suitable answer. Number 1. Visit the of Liberty in USA. The statue, the sea, the building, the fair. The Statue of Liberty. It's very famous in New York. It's on an island in the ocean. Number 2. For songs, for news, for information, for boats, call us at 1-800-555-2112. For information, if you want to ask about anything that you don't know, please call us at this number. Number 3, we can helps, helping, helped you find a hotel room, buy plane tickets or rent a car. We can, after can, we have to add an infinitive. So we can help you. Number 4, over 30 million people do what? Visit, visited, visiting, visits New York City every year. Over 300 million people visit because the subject here is plural. Number 5, how museums are there in New York City? If we're asking about the number, which question word do we use? How did, how long, how much, or how many? Yes, how many, because we're asking about the number of museums. Number 6, there is, there was, there are, there has 18,000 restaurants in New York City. There Exactly. There are 18,000 restaurants because this is a plural word, so we need to use a plural verb. Number 7. Orlando, London, New York City, Honolulu is the Big Apple. We said that New York City is called the Big Apple because it has everything. Number 8. Get a for the show at Broadway Theater. What do you need for the show? Do you need a tour, a hotel, a book, or a ticket? Yes, in order to watch or see the show, you need a ticket. By this, we come to the end of Unit 9 and see you in Unit 10 at school, Part 1. Thank you.